Let's not make things more complicated than they already are. So hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. I thought I would make a video today. I'm going to try to keep making videos every day as long as I feel good, and I feel pretty decent. So I wanted to first welcome you to the channel. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. But I especially want to thank every single one of you that watched yesterday's video and the overwhelming comments and emails. Thank you so much. You guys, I feel like I have a whole lot of mamas out there. A few extra daddies too, but a whole lot of mamas. Hang on, I gotta let Sadie out. Hang on. So for those of you that don't know who Sadie is our mama dog. She's never had puppies, but we call her mama dog. And I've had her almost 15 years. I saved her as a puppy. She is a pit bull mix, and she is our old mama dog. And she's hanging in there, but when she gets up and you hear that click, clack, you better open the door because mama's going, okay? I have been sort of taking it easy. Guys, you should be proud. I took a shower. I painted my barn just a little bit. I tried to tease my hair like Tammy Wynette. This is about as Tammy Wynette as my little hair's gonna get. And you just sort of like, I'm making the effort today. I'm not gonna do anything crazy, but I'm making the effort, so I did. We had a good morning today. I mentioned in the video yesterday that Gabriel was taking over the barn chores. So this morning was an extensive barn morning because he knows a lot of the basics, and he takes care. See, Gabriel takes care of things around here. The chickens, the dogs, baby chicks, whatever's happening down this end, I am more up there. And so he had to take over up there, doing more things than he's ever done before. So we had to go through everything. So I didn't film it. He didn't want me to film it. Maybe we'll get some footage by the end of the week. We'll see. He's like, Mom, don't film it. Please don't. I'm like, okay. We had to just get the job done. But he did great. And, that's important because it's not just helping me, obviously, but it's important that your kids know. So if something happens on a whim, they can take over. Or if you need help, they can take over. But really, honestly, it's a learning opportunity. And you know how kids are, even if they're young adults. It's like they don't understand. And we didn't either. I didn't. Did you? I mean, you really don't understand fully how much you will appreciate what your parents, your grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, like in my case, may have taught you until you're much older. And I know that, and so you know that. So even if they're like, oh, okay, just be patient with them because they're taking it in. As long as they're learning it and they can do it, then, that's what matters because we all know it's all going to come around again. Carly Simon, it's coming around again, all that. But we've been doing a lot of seed saving. I got down and sat on my rear end yesterday, and I have finished off most of the continuation of my seed saving. So a lot of times during the winter, what you're going to find is that homesteaders will, if they're seed saving like I do, it's one of my favorite things. I know, that is one thing I will sit down for, at least for a little bit. It's good to bring everything in and sort of set it aside. And in the winter months, this is when we finish up, right? So I'm still doing my Missouri Wonders. I think I finished them up yesterday. And I'm still doing Hickory King. And I keep these pickle jars. I love if I can to put my things in glass. It protects them. Because I know I'm going to reuse them, or like in this case, I'm going to grind it. So there's the corn right there. What else do I have? Oh, Missouri Wonders. Here's all this junk down here. Corn beads. I finished off what little bit of corn beads I had left. My Cherokee corn beads. Some of you call them Job's tears. We don't. We call them Cherokee corn beads, right? But Cherokee tans, and I've got a bunch of pumpkins. The main thing I've got to finish is going through, like I told you before, is processing and seed saving from my Cherokee tans. So a lot of that finishing up. So it was nice. So I was good. I was a good girl. But listen, so I'm going to get this little grinder together today, and I'm going to test this one out. I've not used this one. I have several. And then I bought this one, and it's still been in the box, so I've never used it. So what I want to do, we're going to find out how successful I am, is put it together. I may get frustrated, which means James will walk in and swoop in and save the day and put it together in 3 minutes and go, honey, it's okay. You're a good girl. I'm like, I know. That's kind of more his deal. But I'm going to grind some of this corn and make cornbread. That's my goal. We'll see, in the next day or two when I can get to that. But I want to talk to you about something. Wanted to thank you and, all of that good stuff because I'm so appreciative. And by the way, I hope you kind of get the way that I do videos these days, depending on what we're talking about. Regardless of how I'm presenting my content and what we're talking about, I always hope that you read through the comments. A lot of knowledge down there. That's why I ask a lot of questions. Because I know how smart my followers are, and how in tune, and how patriotic, and how loyal, and how alpha. We ain't taking no beta. Somebody said that. Somebody said, Terry, you are an alpha. And all of your followers, as I have seen in the comments, they are all alphas too. And I'm like, check, check, check. So what? Yeah, nobody's taking anything, and you're going to get a lot of really great information. So I'm just saying, depending on the content and depending on what the video is about, as I've said many times before, be sure to hit the comment section, because this crowd is unlike any other crowd you're going to find anywhere else, and you're going to learn a lot, and I just appreciate them, because you and them, all of y'all together, because, well, it's what makes this country so great. Well, not just that, though. That's not fair. That's not fair, because I have a lot of people from Scotland and a lot of people from Ireland, particularly Australia, that watch. But the thing is, we're all there. By the way, quick side note, if you go to Aldi and you can find the Desert, we're singing Sting now, Desert Rose. It is a beautiful little candle. It's pink, I know. It is such a beautiful smelling little candle. So if I can find any more of those, the Desert Rose, get it, because it is awesome. So I'm going to take all these little doodads kind of out of their paper. And while I'm talking to you, we're going to get down to business. So I just want to know, like I said, some of my videos this week are kind of they'll be educational, but they'll be conversational, whatever at the same time. And what I want to know is have you seen the top story in the last 24 hours? You know, how we think the big cootie virus that we've all dealt with over the last, 3 years now. How suddenly the headlines, I mean, it's every top news story, people. Okay, you can't miss it. Can't miss it. Okay, so I'm not even going to attach anything down below, because you just have to Google and you're going to be nailed with like 20, boom, 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 from an hour ago to up to 20 hours ago. So you can find the information. And here's the interesting thing that I noticed. The headlines are all saying kind of the same thing. They're all like, it is admitted, or officials think, or it has come out, or it is alleged, or whatever, that, oh, all of a sudden the cootie virus was leaked from a certain place in China. Really? Come on, Mama. Come on. It's okay, Mama. That's my Mama. That's my Mama. She was thirsty, y'all. Mama dog is thirsty. Was it good? That must have been the best bowl of water I've ever seen. It's... Okay, she's good. Okay, we're all settled in now. Okay, so here's my question to you. Okay, so the thing is, when you read the headlines, right? Which is what most people do. Okay, be honest. A lot of times we're scanning through social media, or you might be surfing through the television or through whatever, and you see you see a headline. You know, you see a title, you see whatever. I'm drinking all my healthy stuff. All these things, and you don't really deep dive into the articles, right? I mean, most people don't. Or if they do, they may do one, they surf it, whatever. I think that's human nature, so I'm not judging that. But so I started sort of deep diving into some of the articles, and it's funny because the headlines would be like more definitive, right? Are you with me on this? So the headline would be a whole lot more definitive, whereas if you got into actually reading some of the content within the article, it was, well, it is assumed, or it is alleged, or it is, while there are still doubts, or while there's, so they're kind of covering their tracks with a lot of things. So here's my point. There's two, or I could make 12 points actually. Let's start with the first one. The first thing is the propaganda styled headlines. You guys are no dummies, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. When headlines of news are just like the titles or the thumbnails that you see on here on YouTube. They do that, we do that to grab your attention. I totally don't deny that. And let's just say this real quick. A lot of people say, well, I don't like clickbait. Guys, well, here's the thing. If I say something in my picture or in my title, and that is the content of my video, that's what we talk about or get to or all of those things, that's really, in my opinion, that's not clickbait. That's just what it is, okay? If I were to say something outrageous in a title, outrageous in, whatever, and then you watch the video and they don't have anything to do with each other, yeah, I can understand why you'd be upset. But here's the point. People have very short memories. People don't do the homework, and people are driven by fear, and those types of things. So when you say, this started because of this happened because of this, or it is believed that this happened because of this, they're pointing you in the direction to believe that as the absolute truth. Okay. Now, why would we all of a sudden, this is really where I'm going. So I don't want you to think that I'm doubting that whether or not I believe that is the origin of what we've all been through the past couple of years. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm not trying to put doubt in your mind. But here's the question. Here is where the devil is in the details. When you see articles like that, or you see things written like this, or I don't know what's going on with that curl right there. My Tammy hairdo didn't work out. Why? Why now? Why? In a time in which we are basically post, okay? In my opinion, we are. We should be. We should have been a long time ago. But what are they trying to influence the average, in our case, the average American to suddenly think? Well, here's the bottom line. If you've been very sick, if you lost a loved one, if you are disabled because of something, or whatever, at some point, everybody wants to know a root answer and a root cause, right? And a lot of times, people don't handle that very well. They will take their anger out on that. So why now, all of a sudden, after the magical blimp went across the entire United States, and God knows how many other things are going on, why all of a sudden is this a main headline? Doesn't that timing seem peculiar to you? It's kind of like all of a sudden now we want to be mad at a certain place for something they may or may not have done, whether it's on purpose or not, but they're the reason. That's right. And think of the timing of this. Because if my memory serves, and I'm getting old, but around this time 3 years ago, when an origin was pointed out and was said and was point blank called out, and was when this started, not 3 years later, after Afghanistan and after Russia, and all the things we've seen over the last 18 months or so. But 3 years ago, when all this hot mess started, and somebody or some things or someone's, maybe you, pointed out and saying, well, doesn't it come from here? We need to find out. You were called every name in the book, now weren't you? A lot of people were. So, I'm just a little old hillbilly homeschooling, homesteading mama putting together a corn grinder in my kitchen. And I'm just asking questions, I'm just thinking a little bit out loud. You know how we get, us women. Why is this being released now? I mean, looks like it's trying to rev up some people just a little bit, isn't it? Isn't that cute? So here's my question to you. I'm going to say this again. Lord, I ain't going to be able to put this thing together. So when the drums of war are beating, that's right, and everybody's saying, yeah, this person's this, and this is happening here, and da-da-da-da. You make sure that you've got your granola bars packed right on up into your little backpack. And I hope you've put the backpack on a couple times and charged up and down the driveway so you know how heavy it can get, because, you know, granola bars can get really heavy. But I hope you know what you're talking about. I hope you know what you're cheering for. I hope you know what story and narrative is being put before you. And not only will you go, but maybe it'll be your children, your boys, right? Because the rest of us aren't down with it. You know, I'll close with this, because I really do want to try to put this together. Pray for me. You know, I spoke about, I have made videos about this. I have a father and son who are both grandfathers, okay? From Monroe, well, the youngest one is from Monroe County, Tennessee. And his father came down from Virginia, okay? And I've made videos about this before, and I've been opening it back up and been doing a lot of genealogy work with this line again, due to Native roots and to possibly African-American roots through this line. So I'm studying it. So I've gone back through over the weekend. I've been going over the paperwork from the Civil War. You can find that on Fold 3 and other places. I mean, you can Google Fold 3, archives. There's all kinds of ways to find all these things. The actual documents, okay? Muster rolls, payment, I mean, just everything. And I've got all this, right? And what is so interesting is I've talked about this before. The youngest boy who I was talking about is he's my third great-grandfather. At 18 years old, he went in. And he's listed with dark skin, dark eyes, and dark hair. Black eyes, actually. I'm lying. Black eyes. Isn't that awesome? Black eyes, dark skin, and dark hair. And he was 18 years old, and he went to Knoxville to enlist, and his father went with him. So that would be my fourth great-grandfather, okay? And I have all documentation about these men. And the father of the two was 70, well, at the time he would have been 73. He died when he was 74. There are write-ups about these people. I have all marriage certificates, death certificates. I have everything, so I know how old they were. And do you know that over the weekend, I opened everything back up on Fold 3, pulled everything back out, and I started paying more close attention to, as opposed to paying attention to cause of death and that, they had the father who died in Nashville of smallpox. I've been there, I have a whole video on it, right? They have him listed as 40 years old. And I got paranoid because I was like, what have I done? Have I gotten my paperwork confused? Are these the wrong people? Or is this the wrong guy? Kept going over, it's not. Because I connected everything with his pension, everything, his hospital papers, everything. And do you know this man, this is what I'm believing at this moment. And I want to know if you're going to do the same, if you're for all this stuff. I'm not 100% confident, but at this time I'm 99% confident. Either the U.S. Army made a huge mistake, which they made it apparently a lot. I think that this grandfather, my fourth great-grandfather, went to Knoxville, signed up into the Union with his only son, his youngest child, who was 18. And he made the decision to lie about his age so that he would go with his son, which left my grandmother behind. And she did. And he ended up dying. He eventually became 74 years old, and he died. He died of smallpox in Nashville. I've been there. I've done several videos on this. So are you willing to give up everything, potentially lie about yourself, lie about your age, so that you can be there when your son is drafted or chose to enlist and is being sent to war? Let's be honest, 18, regardless of what generation, we all know those are babies. So just want to say, when you see these headlines and you see all these things, be questioning why and where is this coming from? Who is pulling you in? Who is making you think these things? might want to consider it. Remember, there's a lot of risk in our own selves and in our own country from our own people. Probably far more of a threat than anything else we're facing at this time. Read between the lines. The devil is always in the details. Guys, I appreciate you. We'll have more videos coming up this week. I'm going to check this out. We'll see if this little corn grinder works. I'm really curious if it's going to do a good job. So we're going to figure it out. So I just want to say I'm doing okay today. All is better. And, you know, we're just going to keep plugging along. I'll keep you posted on how things are going. If I have to have more surgery, I'm praying not, right? Nope. We're not. At least that's what we're telling ourselves right now. All right, guys. Sounds like I need to start making some cornbread. We will see you on the next video. Like, subscribe, and share. Keep your eyes open. We'll see you on the next video.